Hi everyone. So there has been a lot of talk about the BRICS 15th anniversary summit happening in South Africa at the moment. It started on 22nd of August 2023 and is ending today on 24th of August. So there has been just an announcement from the BRICS summit that they have decided to enlarge and to accept 6 new members. So the original BRICS members, we remember, are the Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. And they're planning to enlarge starting 2024 with 6 new members, which would be Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates. So this is a very big announcement that can have a big impact politically and also economically in the world. And another topic related to this was, will there be any new currency that the BRICS states and in the future BRICS Plus states would then use? So why is this important topic? It's related to the so-called de-dollarization. So the question of, is the US dollar still important as before, and is it going to be important in the next years? So for sure, it is still the most important currency in the world. So it is the official reserve currency, and at the moment around 60%, so the central banks have around 60% of the holdings in the US dollars. In 2000, this was, however, 70%. So this has decreased, but is still definitely the biggest reserve currency. It is also the currency that is traded the most in the foreign exchange. Even though more than half of the foreign exchange trades is done in another currency, almost the half is done in the US dollar. The following ones are the Euro and the China renminbi. However, the BRICS countries have a couple of times said that they would like and they are attempting to trade more in their local currency. They're already starting that for certain trades, and they're really going in that direction. The current 5 BRICS states have around 40% of the world population and 31% of the world GDP, which is for about 1% bigger than the G7 countries. The G7 countries are United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Italy, France, Germany, and Japan. So if the BRICS decide really to trade, and BRICS Plus in the future to trade in another currencies, this will have a big impact on the US dollar and the whole world economics. At the moment, however, there is no official confirmation of any new currency coming soon. What we know is that the BRICS countries ordered their central banks to investigate how could they trade in the local currency and to create reports on this until next summer. There has also been talk about the currency, the reserve currency for the BRICS countries that would be backed by gold. So remember, gold was a standard. Before, many currencies were backed by gold, including the US dollar. After the Second World War, on the Bretton Woods Conference, the US dollar was announced the world reserve currency. At the time was backed by gold. In 1971, it stopped being backed by gold because the US Federal Reserve didn't have enough gold anymore. But it soon became a so-called petrodollar because the US made a deal with the Saudi Arabia that the petroleum will be traded in the US dollar, and as a counter treat, the US would help Saudi Arabia militarily if needed. This is, however, changing, especially if Saudi Arabia enters BRICS in 2024. This whole balance could change, and the fact that the petroleum has been traded in the dollar was very important for the US dollar, so we will see what will happen with this. There has been also a lot of talk about some stablecoin created by the BRICS countries. So note that stablecoin by definition is a cryptocurrency that is pegged to either a fiat currency of the country or some commodity like gold. But in this case, of course, if the BRICS countries would create a digital currency backed by gold, even if it would be on some distributed ledger technology, it would definitely be regulated and controlled by them. And the current stable coins are not regulated and not controlled by the countries, but are types of the cryptocurrencies. Also, if we would talk about the central bank digital currency being created by the BRICS countries, the BRICS countries themselves would first have to create their central bank digital currency, and or accept the other one for a trade, the wholesale one, because the central bank digital currency that is wholesale is meant for the big financial institutions and for the big transactions, and the retail one would be meant for people to use it for private purposes as well. So there is a long road ahead if the BRICS countries would want to do transactions in the central bank digital currencies. The China is at the most advanced one with the retail CBDC. And the other countries are investigating it, so it may be that in the future, if they create their own, that they will then create a system in which they can transact. So the systems where the CBDCs are sent cross borders have been tested, but in small pilot projects. So this is really still far ahead, I would say. This would need some time. But it is possible that they will in the meantime also create some other type of the reserve currency, and we will see. So we will follow this, and thank you. Bye.